Good afternoon and welcome back to Barcelona. It's the Longines FEI Nations Cup jumping competition here in Barcelona, but today we are kicking things off with the Queen's Cup. That is the class that I will be taking you through this afternoon. It's a competition in 2 rounds. The first round is against the clock. The top 25% of competitors in the first round will then go through to a second round. That will be a second round against the clock. There is no jump off, it's 2 rounds. We really have got an absolutely star-studded lineup for you for this class. We'll be kicking things off first on our list with André Thiem, of course the European champion from Riesenbeck. We then continue down our list with Michael Duffy. We turn to competitors from all over the world, from the USA, from Spain, from Norway, Brazil, Argentina, Canada, you name it, these big names are here in this class, in this Queen's Cup, and we'll be kicking things off in just a few moments' time. 68 starters will come forward in this first round. Say the top 25% will then continue through into the second round of competition, and it's over a slightly shorter course, but it is over a full course. It's a competition over 2 rounds. Both of those rounds will be against the clock, so of course it's all about jumping it clear, but it's also all about taking those tight lines around this course and making sure that the riders are as quick as they possibly can be in order to get up to the top of the leaderboard. Spectators are beginning to fill the stands in Barcelona for this Queen's Cup competition, and of course those stands will be absolutely packed out later for the Nations Cup competition, which will be taking place later on. Beautiful sweeping sand arena here. It's 70 by 120 metres in size. And the course has 13 obstacles with a total of 16 jumping efforts. The course is 525 metres in length and the time allowed is 79 seconds. Now yesterday in the Negrita Cup we did see the time be really quite influential, and it'll be very interesting to see how things pan out today. Top 25% qualify, so that means 17 should be going through. 68 starters is what we've got here. And we can just hear the riders warming up and preparing. It's just such a unique opportunity to see these top equine athletes and their riders in action in their final preparations before they take to the big arena, before they take to the stage. Of course, this is the Nations Cup final competition, and we do have riders here who have, of course, been competing in the European Championships, in the 2020 Olympic Games in Tokyo this summer. The Nations Cup, of course, reads like a who's who of the top level of show jumping, of the absolute best of the show jumping world. And our start list here in the Queen's Cup today similarly rides as a who's who of top riders. They are bringing some very, very talented horses forward here to this competition. Fences are 1.50 m in height in this competition. We had a 1.45 m class yesterday afternoon. Here we are looking at fences of 1.50 m in height. And this again is a competition that counts in Longines rankings. enter this Queen's Cup competition. 2 rounds, both against the clock. First to go, of course, is our European champion. This is Andre Thiem. Of course, European champion with DSP Chakaria. Here he rides Crazy Girl, an 11-year-old mare by Clinton. So yes, 13 obstacles, 16 jumping efforts. Yeah, just a little close in, I think, to fence 3. But this is quite a twisting course all around the arena, making use of every available inch of space. We have a double combination and a triple combination, which is just where they're heading down to now. The poles are rattling in the cups, but that one of course stays up for Andre Thiem. Heads now to the last. This is fence 13. Stops the clock 80.94, so 1 to add for time as well for Andre Thiem. 1 fence down and 1 for time. So a total of 5. So yes, I think that time really will be quite influential. Of course, we will not be taking all of these competitors through into the second round. It's the top 25%. And the time will be influential. In yesterday's class, we had 72 starters and around a third of the field jumped clear. And we are looking at a similar kind of rate this afternoon. But we'll see how that plays out. Our next starter is Michael Duffy. Michael rides RMF Charlie here in this class, and again this combination competed in yesterday's Negrita Cup. And if we just take a little look around the course then, as Michael Duffy is competing, that's the double combination at 4. And then a related distance on a slightly curving line down to 5, which I think is looking like it could be quite an influential fence. Big Oxer at 6, and then this triple combination at 7. 2 uprights, 1 Oxer. Another related distance down to 8. Then they have a right-handed swing at almost 360 degrees back around to fence 9. That's the fence here with the water tray beneath it. And then Michael Duffy putting 5 strides there down to 10. We did see 4 there previously. That distance down the back of the arena, 11 to 12, upright to another Oxer. Then it's another left-handed turn back down towards the bottom of the arena. And this very colourful fence at 13 to finish. 81.45 was the time there, which picks up a few time penalties as well. So the total is 13 for Charlie. And that's second at the moment, but it's all to play for. 68 combinations will be coming forward in this competition. And I'll be taking you through every moment of all of the action. Of course, we'll also be looking forward to the Nations Cup competition this evening. That's kicking off around 8 p.m. local time. great starter there, is now taking to the stage. For Spain, Alex Codina-Eria, getting a really good pace up so far. Of course, getting some great height over those uprights in the triple elimination. Five strides just becoming a little long there, down to that big oxer. Very wide fence that they really do need to be bang on for in order to make that back rail. But the time was good, 77:35. That was the time there for Alex Codina-Eria. So just four, nothing to add for time. 77:35 seconds, of course, is the time round of 79 seconds. And as we all know in these show jumping competitions, especially at this very, very top level, it is just so easy for those poles to fall with even the lightest rub. There's just no room for error at all. Edwin Schmitz then is our next starter. Edwin here rides Quinty von Hoff. Again, this combination competed in yesterday's Negrita Cup. And Edwin has competed this horse all the way up to 5-star. Very good placing. It's a third in the 5-star class in shot in Germany. Third in qualifying. It's quite a long swing back around the outside of fence 10 to get back to the double 4. This combination has certainly got an eye on time. Unfortunately, just clips the Negrita fence there. 6. The fences really do keep coming around this course. There aren't really too many points where the riders can pick up pace and shave a few seconds off around the turns. The fences really do come very quickly. And we're seeing everybody doing the 4 strides down to fence 12, 11 to 12 at related distance in the top end of the arena. Just wasn't quite to be. Edwin Schmitz. 2 fences down. Time, however, is fine, so a penalty is 78.2 time. So we're still looking for our first clear round. With the lead at this very early stage is Alex Codina-Eria of Spain. And we're in the top 25%, so that will be about 17 competitors will be going forward into the second round. Michael Hughes is next. Michael's riding for the USA, of course. And today he rides Kashmir Van Dude Pastoral. It's an 11-year-old. Stables. Michael Hughes, very experienced competitor. very colourful fence is really catching. That's the final fence. So a little bit over the time allowed as well. Foul is the final score. For Michael Hughes. Some fences in this arena, as you see, there are fast 116 individual jumps, but there are also fences in that second round. We turn now to Spain again. No doubt a crowd favourite here in Barcelona. This is Eduardo just 8-year-old. Eduardo, of course, is a rider who represented Spain at the Tokyo Olympics individually, riding a legend. And this horse has been competing with Eduardo in a number of two-star competitions, some two-star competitions in Wiesenbeck. They also won 2 3-star classes at Oliva in January. Of course, getting 800 those fences in the ultra competition. Yes, and fantastic riding from Eduardo Alvarez-Zosno. That gives us our first clear of the day. First clear round, of course, soaring into the lead. 76.95 was the time. And remember, the time allowed is 79 seconds. But they did have a good pace up, so I should think that clear round will stand them in good stead for qualification for the second round. But that's our first clear. 1 clear so far out of 6 starters. And it'll be really interesting to see how that ratio changes as we continue through the competition. 68 will be coming forward. We're looking for the top 25% to go through. Our next competitor then is Syed Adnan Al-Alawi. Syed rides for Bahrain, and here he rides Balu Yu. This combination, very experienced. Oh my goodness. Very honest horse to continue out of that double combination. Some real talent to pick up again there after knocking that fence. But they both seem to be okay and continuing well. Syed Adnan Al-Alawi just taking the decision to retire there. And a think, of course, sometimes when horses have a moment like that, that can really sort of set the tone for the rest of the round. And just losing a little bit of confidence there. But of course, they can save things for another day. Next up on our list, it's Victoria Gulliksen of Norway. Gulliksen, of course, a name familiar to many, many people in the show jumping world. Here she's riding Belle Favinia Z. And this is a horse that Victoria's had some success with already. They won a 3-star 1m45 competition in Drammen in Norway in August. And this horse has previously been ridden by Sanne Thyssen and Gianni Govoni of Italy. Just rattling a few poles around the course here. It's 12 then for Victoria Gulliksen. 12 to add with Belle Favinia. We have just one clear round then. That's Eduardo Alvarez Aznar, and we're seeing the fences falling really around the course. I'm not sure that we've identified any particular points yet that are catching the riders out, but there are questions all the way around. It's a very cleverly designed course. And the time is proving to be influential. The time allowed is 79 seconds. The length of the course is 525 meters, so that gives you a speed of around 400 meters per minute. Next in the ring is Kendra Clarissa Brinkop of Germany with Castell Memo. Just a nice easy 5 strides down that line there, and they then come to this final line. Most people putting 4 here. That's down from 11 to 12. Just the one fence left then. That's 13 in the middle of the arena. Beautifully over that, and yes, just inside the time allowed as well. 77.81 is the time, so that's our second clear, and that'll slot into second place. But we are seeing plenty of riders having the poles down, and so I think a clear will be very, very important if they are to qualify for the second round. But Kendra Clarissa Brinkop and Castell Memo, no problems for them. We move on swiftly then to Jerome Guerri. Jerome's riding Eras Termel here. This is an 11-year-old now. First fence sadly falling for Jerome. Perhaps not the start he might have liked, but we're not, of course we can never tell how many clears we'll have, so a fast four faulting round may well see him qualify for the second round. Jerome, of course, known for being a particularly fast rider. He's had plenty of top 10 placings with this horse so far this year. 9th in one of the 5-star competitions, the Allianz Prize in Aachen. A win in Dinard as well in another 5-star competition. Jerome, of course, partnered Calum de Hoos in the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games this summer. For the Belgian team. But 1 for time to add as well, so 5 for Jerome Guerri at the moment. That'll slot him into 4th place with that time. We turn now to Spencer Smith, another competitor riding for the USA. Spencer's riding Ayada Hero Z here. Really unusual fence there, just with the shape of the Sagrada Familia on the wings. Beautifully designed course, really eye-catching fences, which really just adds to the spectacle of the competition. Really adds to the sense of occasion. Spencer, of course, is a fixture on the New York Empire GCL team. Just clips the rail at the front of the triple combination there. Good forward stride in out of the triple into that big oxer. And that's a real shame because this horse is really giving these fences quite a lot of height. Just clips the back rail of the last as well, so it's 8 for jumping. 75.13 is the time, so that'll put them into 7th place. Just taking a look at the times, 75.13 is actually our fastest time so far, and you can see that Spencer did have the pace up all the way around the course. 75.13 is our fastest time. 76.95 is our second fastest time. 76.45 was the time of Victoria Gullickson. And our leader, of course, is Eduardo Alvarez Aznar, clear in 76.95. Just 2 clear rounds then is what we have had so far. 2 clear rounds out of 11 starters. And next up, riding for Brazil, is Yuri Mansur. Yuri again is another competitor, no stranger to the top level of competition. And here he rides Vitiki, a 13-year-old by Valentino. Yuri's ridden this horse in quite a few top-level competitions, including the Rolex Grand Prix of Aachen. And lots of five-star competitions around the world: Hamburg, Valkenswaard, London, Paris, Stockholm, Madrid. Also competed this horse in Florida in the spring. Oof, just rattling the pole there, but it's staying up. So just 3 fences left to jump. It's beautifully over the final fence, gives it so much room. That's our 3rd clear. 3 clear rounds then on the board. Yuri Mansour joining the ranks of the clear rounds with Vitiki. Yeah, just having another look through the triple combination there, and again the Sagrada Familia fence that we were looking at a little earlier. Three clear rounds then. We're turning again now to Brazil for Marlon Modolo Zanatelli. But can Marlon join his compatriot in the ranks of the clear rounds? Really super fast through the triple combination, and then to the Oxa coming out there. Ooh, adds an extra stride going up to fence 10. Ooh, gets really quite close into the Longines planks, but that does help the horse really get the height, and it pays off. That was obviously a good decision for this horse, and that's the trick as well. The riders need to make sure that they are, beautifully over the last. Yes, he can join the ranks of clears. Goes into 2nd place with that time in and a clear round. 77.38 for Marlon Modolo Zanatelli. 2nd place. But yeah, the riders really do need to make decisions all the way around this course to give their horses the absolute best chance of jumping these fences. They are big fences. And they really do take some jumping. Now we turn to the Netherlands. This is Sanne Thiessen, and the horse is High There. Sanne, of course, was 18th in the Rolex Grand Prix of Aachen with Con Quidam, and 26th in the Allianz Prize with this horse High There. It's just a 9-year-old by Nabab Derev. It's a real shame just clipping that pole. You can see fantastic scope from this horse. Ooh, just a little bit. A bit of a rub going into the triple combination. So sadly 2 down so far. And Sanne just takes the decision to retire, saving this relatively young horse for another day. Just taking a look then, we've got 4 clear rounds now so far. Eduardo Alvarez Aznar is still at the top of the tree. 1 Spanish rider, Eduardo Alvarez Aznar, at the top of the tree. 2 Brazilian riders, Mauro Moreira Zanatelli and Yuri Mansour. They're in 2nd and 4th places respectively. And then Kendra Clarissa Brinkhoff for Germany is in 3rd. Now it's the turn of Michael van der Vleuten. Michael rides Kamara van ter Heijke, and Michael led for quite some time in yesterday's class, in yesterday's Negrita Cup, laying down a very fast clear in that speed class yesterday. He then was pipped to the post by a few riders. Finished in 7th in the end in that Negrita Cup yesterday. Michael, of course, rode a fantastic performance at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics to achieve an individual bronze medal. That was with Beauville. But this horse, Kamara van ter Heijke, is certainly another very, very talented horse in Michael's stable. The pair won a 5-star class at LGCT Valkenswaard in the summer. And he gives us our next clear round. Fantastic 2 days of competition for Michael. 2 clear rounds so far. 78 is the time, quite close to the time allowed, which of course is 79 seconds. But they do join the ranks of the clears, so 5 clears now on the board. Michael van der Vleuten giving us our latest one. Next up though, following Michael van der Vleuten into the ring, is Martin Fuchs riding the Sinner. Really interesting combination here. Martin, of course, is a rider that needs no introduction. Of course, on the winning Swiss team at the European Championships in Riesenbeck. Also on the 5th placed Swiss Tokyo Olympic team. But in Riesenbeck, Martin competed the Sinner in the 3-star classes. But they've got countless top 10 placings, and they're becoming a firm fixture on the international circuit. Really is just such a masterclass watching Martin ride around these courses. And of course you would expect nothing less, but it's a fantastic clear round from Martin Fuchs as well. So we waited a little while for a clear, and now they just keep coming. 78.2 was the time, so that puts him into 5th. And remember, we do have 68 starters. The top 25 will go through to the 2nd round. Top 25%, excuse me, go through to the 2nd round, which would be around 17. So it's very, very important that they not only aim for a clear round, but also keep the time as fast as possible. And the next man that's going to try and do that is Christian Allman. Christian's bringing Mandato van der Nieheide. This is a 9-year-old by Emerald. Again, Christian rode this horse in yesterday's Negrita Cup. Christian also, of course, competed in the Rolex Grand Prix of Aachen with Clint Trexo. But with this horse placed second in the LGCG Grand Prix of Rome in September, also placed 5th in Berlin and 5th in Monaco. Sadie just rattles the central part of the triple combination there. We haven't seen too many people do that. The horse is just staying in such a beautiful rhythm all the way around the course. Christian, of course, is a rider that so many of the other riders look to as almost the pinnacle of sort of stylish and quiet but effective riding. Always beautiful to watch. But 4 penalties then for Christian Ahlmann. 78.25 was the time. That'll put him into 8th place at the moment. We turn again now to Brazil. This is our next starter, Cortizo Goncalves de Azevedo Filho. Riding for Brazil. Oh, I think they've just lost a boot there, perhaps. Looks like an overreach boot, maybe. Late falling pole, and that can sometimes happen. Sometimes these poles can really roll and then just drop a little later. But some really good tight turns. That's one place that they can save some time on that swing back there from 8 to 9. And again, there are a number of obstacles around the arena, much as we saw yesterday, and the riders can take the decision to either cut inside some of those or to go around, depending on what suits their horse best, whether it's best to keep those turns very tight or whether it's better for the horse to keep the pace up around more of a sweeping turn. But a little bit to add for time for the Brazilian competitor, so 10 is the total. Next up it's Lily Keenan. Lily is riding Agana van het Gerandal Z. Lily won the SAP prize class in Aachen with this horse. Second in the FEI jumping under 25 ranking, extremely talented young rider. This is a 10-year-old horse by Agani du Seigneur. And you can just see Lily constantly looking to the next fence. As soon as she lands over the fences, she's looking for the line. She's looking to the next obstacle, just ensuring that the horse is fully prepared for what's to come. Really sets them up well for the rest of the course. Just asking the horse to whoa a bit. Ooh, yeah, just rolls the front rail of the oxer coming out of the triple. I think the horse was just getting quite strong. But certainly really picks up very, very well in jumping around this course. Two down then for Lily Keenan, 8 is the total score. That goes into 13th at the moment. And it's all to play for the competitors to come. Of course, the top 25% will go into the second round. That's around 17 competitors, as we've got 68 starters here. So Lily Keenan no doubt will be hoping that more of the competitors to come have a few faults if she is to stay in contention to qualify for the second round. Next person that will try though to qualify as well is Eliane Baumann. Eliane Baumann rides for Switzerland, and here rides Little Lumpy E. This is a 10-year-old by Lodanos. Came 12th in a 4-star Grand Prix with this horse in Ascona in Switzerland. Eliane Baumann, of course, riding on the Swiss team, the Swiss gold medal winning team at Riesenbeck in those European Championships. That was with Campari Z. Seeing a few people have a couple of those fences down towards the end of the course at 11 and 12. 2 fences on a related distance with 4 strides between them, but I think they're coming a little later in the course. The riders are, of course, holding back for the planks, those Longines planks at fence 11. They then do need to push for fence 12 there, and it's just really easy for them to have a pole down when they're then trying to reach across that big oxer, and I think that was the case for Eliane Baumann. Just couldn't quite get the front legs up quickly enough for the front rail. Another Spanish competitor is next to go though. This is Sergio Alvarez Moya with Malibu de Muse. This is a 9-year-old, again by Nabab de Rêve. Seen a couple of those so far in this competition. It's interesting that because we are beginning to now see some really iconic breeding coming through, some horses who are really quite similarly bred. Another horse owned by Stefex Stables. little bit of vocal encouragement there over that. It is quite a big oxer going down this line before the triple combination. It's quite a big triple bar actually. Then the related distance to the triple, then again another related distance to fence 8. So there's a lot to think about in that line. Just the one fence down, 78.44. Interestingly, we saw a few riders picking up time faults earlier on in the class, but I think the word is now getting back that they really do need to keep a foot to the floor. So we're seeing fewer riders having time penalties now. 79 seconds, remember, is the time allowed. So there's the top 5. Eduardo Alvarez Aznar, Marlon Moderno Zanotelli. Then our German competitor, Kendra Krajicsia-Brinkop. Then Michael van der Vleuten, Martin Fuchs and Yuri Mansour. 6 clears so far. Next up though, it's the Argentinian competitor Matías Larroca. He's riding BM Gran Fantasia. I think actually putting an extra stride down to the grey fence there, the Segura Viudas fence, it seems to be paying off. It's quite a tall upright. And they're coming to that after the double. I think the extra stride there is really helping the horses to come back and get the height over the upright fence there. Plank fences, of course, always fall very, very easily. Nine then is the total for Matías for Alejandro Entre Canales Marsan. We turn to another Spanish competitor now. This is Alberto Marquez Galobades. Alberto rides Uccello Massure. Yeah, they're just what we were saying there before about really holding for the fence at 5 before heading down this line, that big triple bar for the triple combination. Alberto actually rode this horse in the team competition in Riesenbeck at the European Championships. And they're making light work of this course here. That's another clear round. That's our 7th clear round of the day. Big cheers going up for the Spanish competitor. Crowd favourites, of course, being here in Barcelona. They go into 6th place at the moment. So we have a few competitors, around 9 more competitors to go before we have a short break. Now we're turning to Brian Walker with Chocolato. This is just an 8-year-old horse by Chaco Fly. We've got a couple of 8-year-olds here, a few 9-year-olds. Brian riding Chocolato here today. Yeah, and just opts to retire there. Again, the horse can, of course, be saved for another day. These are big fences, they are big courses, big imposing courses, and sometimes the best decision is to allow the horse to retire and save it for another day. Moving on, though, we now have on our list another Spanish competitor. This is Carolina Aresu Garcia Obregon, who rides Collins Loisel. Combination also competed in the Negrita Cup yesterday. And just continuing our theme of some younger horses, this is a 9-year-old. Quite a lot of the riders are taking quite a big shot at the triple bar and then still keeping that very forward rhythm into the triple combination. It's difficult to know what the striding is like without having walked it, but with the approaches that we're seeing, it looks like a fairly long striding combination. Otherwise, I'm sure they would be coming back a bit more before the uprights, the 2 uprights in the first 2 parts of the triple. Just the last then. Oh, yes. Oh, dear me. She sails over the last fence, clear for jumping, just 1 for time for Carolina Aresi Garcia Obregon. Such a shame. Nearly joining the ranks of our clear rounds. But of course, this is not the end of the competition. This is the first round of competition, and the riders are looking to qualify for the second round. But she looks really, really thrilled with that round anyway. The horse jumped really spectacularly well. Just 1 time penalty will put them into 8th place. Now this lady is often a crowd favourite. Here is Laura Kraut. Laura here rides Hera FBH. This is the horse that she also brought forward yesterday. This again is a 9-year-old. The breeding is Comme Il Faut and Heartbreaker. Really interesting breeding. Laura, of course, on the silver medal winning American team at the Tokyo Olympics. You can see Laura there just asking the horse to whoa to come back before that triple combination. Oh, just didn't quite make the back rail. That's a real shame. Really drives for the last 13 is the final score for Laura Kraut and Hera FBH. Just over the time allowed as well, so 3 fences down and just 1 time penalty for a total of 13. Dara Kenny's our next starter, of course for Ireland, with Volney Dubois de Ville. This horse is by Winning Mood. Dara now 12th in the Longines rankings. This competition also counts for the Longines ranking. And this is the horse that he competed in the SAP prize in Aachen. Came 19th in that class. But this pair also won the prize, another 5-star class in Aachen. The horse is owned by Teddy Vlok and the Vlok Show stables, and in fact was previously competed by Teddy Vlok right through this year. The time looks quite good at the moment, but 1 fence down. Of course, possibly a fast 4 faulting round could see them go into the second round as it stands, but that could all change. So 77.32 is the time. They go into 9th place at the moment. Now we turn to Harry Charles with Borsalto. Again, this combination were in our class earlier in the day yesterday. Harry's 8th on the FEI jumping under 25 rankings. Got a really talented string of horses. Competed this horse at the LGCT show in London. Also competed in the 5-star classes at Windsor. placed 6th in the Grand Prix there. But things are going well here so far. They're really keeping a good... It's a good rhythm, but they've got a good pace up there as well. Not wasting time with changes of gear around this course, and just the one fence left to go. The time is really looking very good. 76:38. Yes, we thought the time looked good, and that's going to be our fastest clear, so Harry Charles takes the lead. Big pats for the horse. 76:38 the time. That's our leading time at the moment. That's what they've got to beat. (76:38), so that does in fact mean that we have 8 clears. Harry Charles at the top of the tree, followed by Eduardo Alvarez Aznar, then followed by Marlon Modelo Zanatelli, then Kendra Clarissa Brinkop, then Michael van der Vleuten, Martin Fuchs, Alberto Marquez Galabades, and Yuri Mansour. They are the clears so far. I think as this competition progresses, it will become clear that a clear round is really almost going to be essential in order to qualify for the second round. Next in, it's a competitor for Spain again, Laura Roque Pinheiro, riding her own JB. Not often we say that in these competitions. Safely over the last then, but it's a little bit over the time allowed as well, so 17 is the total for Laura Roque Pinheiro. Goes into 26th at the moment. Yes, really quite unusual to see an owner rider at this level, because we frequently see these very top level riders riding horses owned by other individuals. The owners, of course, are so hugely important to the sport, of course to all equestrian sport. Marc de la Serre for France is our next starter with Shaman Haas. This is a 9-year-old. And we've just got 3 competitors, including Marc, left to go before we have a little break. Ooh, really giving some of these poles a good rattle, but they're all staying up so far. Now Marc there just taking a little bit of a steadier approach into the triple combination before pushing for the double, for the oxer coming back out. And that seems to have been a really good approach for him. This horse is sadly just one fence falling there, but the horse is really adaptable. He's really able to move the horse on and lengthen the stride, but also to get it back. And that's really something that's essential all the way around this course. It's been very cleverly designed so that the riders really do need to be able to alter the horse's stride length, increase the ground cover between some of the fences, but also to collect, to get things back together for some of those more delicate uprights. 8 penalties was the total then for Marc de la Serre. Of course, now in the ring we have Rolf-Göran Bengtsson of Sweden with Castellano Germain. Rolf, a hugely popular rider with the crowds. Rattles for the stallion, 15-year-old stallion now. They placed second in a 3-star Grand Prix in Falsterbo in the summer. Just having a few poles down here. Just opting to retire there before the final fence. Rolf-Göran Bengtsson then retires in this Queen's Cup competition. Just one more competitor to go before we have a break. One more on our list for Canada, Chris Sorensen. Chris Sorensen is riding Emperor Claudius. So Chris is our 34th competitor to go out of 68 starters. So far, we do have 8 clear rounds, but as it stands, the fastest 8-faulter would actually qualify, but I imagine that will all change as we head into the second half of this competition. Oof, oof. Running into some difficulties in the triple combination. Chris Sorensen just opting to retire there, just jumping one fence on the way out, which of course they can do after having had a refusal. Just important to give the horse a confident experience, and better to jump a more straightforward fence on the way out, just to ensure that they come out of the arena with some confidence. Then, so let's look at the leaderboard. Harry Charles is at the top with Borsato. He's clear in a very fast time, but we do have 8 clears so far. 8 clears on the board, and we're around halfway through this class. We'll be bringing you all of the action from the second half very, very shortly. Just be taking a short break now, but next in after the break will be Emily Moffat. She will be the next competitor, trying to join the ranks of the clear rounds and trying to join the top echelons of this class, who all want to qualify for the second round. Of course, this is a competition 2 rounds against the clock. Do join us again in just a few moments' time. Emily Moffat then concludes her round and retires with Baccara d'Argenfosse. Welcome back to this Queen's Cup competition from Barcelona. We are, of course, at the Longines FEI Jumping Nations Cup final event in Barcelona, and this afternoon I'm taking you through the Queen's Cup. This is a 2-round competition. We've got 68 starters jumping at 1 full round. Now we're around halfway through the class, and you're just joining us after a short break. It's 1 round against the clock, which then qualifies them for a second round. The top 25% will go forward into the second round. And with 68 starters, that's around 17 competitors going forward into the second round. Our next starter, though, in this second half is Francesca Ciriesi of Italy. Francesca rides Cape Coral. It's an 11-year-old horse by Com Ilfo. And up until this point we have seen problems coming all the way around the course. No problems yet for Francesca Ciriesi. "13 obstacles with 16 jumping efforts in this course. Time allowed is 79 seconds. We have seen a few competitors pick up some time faults as well as some jumping faults, of course. Francesca just inside the time allowed there. Her time 78.44, but 1 fence down, so it's 4 penalties. Puts her into 13th place. That would qualify for the second round at the moment. But things could all change. We do have a fair few competitors left to come. The next starter is Thibaut Spitz. Thibaut is riding for Belgium, and this horse is Classic Touch DH. It's a 10-year-old. A 10-year-old horse by Casal. Couple of fences down at this stage, and as we said, there really are questions all the way around this course. The horses need to be very, very adaptable around this course. It's really important that they can lengthen and shorten the strides to really increase the ground cover and to collect back all the way around the course. That is what this course demands. So 8 is the final score for Thibaut Spitz with Classic Touch DH. Goes into 22nd. Our next competitor is in the ring. And we'll just... That's not the start that they wanted. This is Tim Wilkes of Canada. Oh dear, that's such a shame. Very sadly eliminated at the first fence. I mean, it is a really quite eye-catching fence, but we haven't seen anybody else have particular problems with that fence up until this point. Big shame there. Niels Brunsels is our next starter, with Gancia de Muse. Getting a really good pace up already around this course. A few different places that they can try to save some time. That, however, is not one of them. This fence, the Segura Viudas fence, that grey fence at number 5, we've seen many riders taking a very controlled, very collected approach to that fence, and that seems to be what's paying off for them. That gives us another clear round. Goes into second place with that very good time. It did look pretty quick on the clock. 76:39 was the time, so that goes into second place, just 1/100th of a second behind Harry Charles, who of course is our current leader. He was clear in a time of 76.38. Penelope Le Prévost then for France is another hugely popular and very fast rider who takes to this competition next. She's riding Texas here today. Just clips the last, but it stays up, so that is another clear round. Much like in the first half of this competition, we waited a while for clears, but then they come, once they start coming, they do keep coming, so that's another clear round. Penelope Loprovo then is our next clear on the board. 10 clears now in this competition. We do have a few horses withdrawing. A few withdrawals, and so that may change things in terms of the number of competitors that qualify for the second round, but we will bring you news of that as soon as we have it. Next up is Rebecca McGoldrick of Canada. She's riding Fanta M. This horse has been ridden also quite a lot by Dermot Lennon of Ireland. Competed this, Rebecca and Dermot have both competed this horse up to 4-star level. Just slightly over the time allowed as well, so it's 5 in total for Rebecca McGoldrick of Canada. Olivier Robert then is our next starter. Olivier, of course, very well known for his fast riding. Here he's bringing Vivaldi de Meneur to this competition, this Queen's Cup competition. Clear so far, and of course Olivier rather characteristically has got his foot to the floor. Just holds a bit there going into the triple combination. Good forward 5 coming back out and to that big oxer. There we have it then, Olivier Robert, another clear, 77.77 seconds. Try saying that one quickly. That is going into 6th place. So now we have 11 clears on the board, 11 totally clear rounds. Carolina Aresu Garcia Obregon just picking up 1 time penalty. John Whitaker's our next starter with Sharid. This is the horse that he also rode in the Negrita Cup yesterday. John Whitaker, of course, a legend of the sport, a real legend for the British team. John very quickly around this corner. No doubt he has got his eye on a fast 4 falter round to hopefully qualify for the second round. Remember, only 11 clears so far. Ooh, but unfortunately clips the planks as well. They can fall so easily. We have seen a few people have that down. Gregory Watherley then is the next starter on our course for this Queen's Cup. This is Indago. Concord and Nimador is the breeding here. Big bold shot over that triple bar. And then very forward through the triple combination, and actually that's an approach that we've seen work for a few riders. Sadly just has that back rail down. Safely over the last and within the time allowed, 76.07 the time. So it's a total of 4 for Gregory Watherley, and Indago puts them into 13th. Interesting to just take a look at the times. Of course, we know that the riders need to be going really quite quickly. The fastest of our clear rounds is 76.38 at the moment. 76 seconds 38 is the time to beat with a clear round. Spencer Smith was faster, however. He's on 8 faults. 75.13 was his time. And that, in fault, is our fastest time. So 75.13. And bearing in mind that the time allowed is 79 seconds, it's actually really quite tight. There's so much to think about all the way around this course that they really do need to keep the pace up, but there just aren't too many places where they can shave off a lot of time. As we were saying earlier, this really rewards horses and of course riders who are very adaptable, who can lengthen the shorten the stride at the drop of the hat. That's a question that's being asked of them all the way around this course. Henrik von Eckermann is the next person who is trying to match those clears, and he's looking very, very good so far. He's riding Hollywood V here. There you can see he's just trying to take a little bit of time off in the as he gets away from the fences. And yeah, that's a good time as well. 76.92 goes into third place with another clear. 12 clear rounds then we have now, and Henrik von Eckermann is the latest, and he goes into third. No time wasted at all the way around that course, no time wasted at all. Now it's the turn of Richard Kierkegaard, who rides for Argentina. He's riding Strides Hilastern. Again, another combination who competed in the Negrita Cup yesterday. A bit tricky coming out of the triple combination for Richard Kierkegaard. We really have seen a lot of different approaches at that fence. Whether that's a more forward approach, whether they're holding back a little bit more. But there's a lot to think about all the way down that line. They've got a big triple bar at fence 6. Then the related... Oh my goodness. A bit of a misunderstanding there at fence 12 for Richard Kierkegaard. Safely over the last though. A little bit to add for time as well, so 13's the final score there. Now it's the turn of Marie Valdar Longem of Norway with Algorithm, another competitor who competed in the Negrita Cup yesterday. And we'll just take another look around the course for those of you who have recently joined us. This Longines Oxa, we're just in the early stages of the course. That's at 3. They then bend round right-handed to the double at 4. This fence at 5 has been requiring some very careful riding. Left-handed then down to this line that's been very influential. It's around 6 strides down to the triple combination from 6 to 7. Then this race distance again out to 8. Left-handed turn almost 360 degrees back around to fence 9 with the water tray here. And then this colourful Oxa at 10. It's then a left-handed turn to another influential line. That's the Longines plank. 4 strides down to another Oxa with a water tray underneath. Then there's a left-handed sweep round the back of fence 1 to fence 13, the final fence. And we've actually seen fence 13 causing some problems as well. Here, Marie Valdar Longem is another rider falling foul of that final fence. 8 penalties to add, 77.86 the time, so puts her into 26th place. Now we really do have competitors from all over the world being represented in these competitions. And our next competitor from South America, from Colombia, is Nicolas Toro. He's riding Balubel. Balubel is a 10-year-old by Balou du Rouet. Sadly having the first fence down, and it really is quite a long way around this course with early faults. 13 obstacles and 16 jumping efforts. The length of the course is in fact 525 meters. Has an extra stride there going into the triple. Doesn't quite pay off on the way out, but good over the Oxford fence 8. Not quite sure what the problem was there at fence 12. They had a very good positive approach into that fence and unfortunately just took the front rail out. I think the horse just didn't quite get the height. It was quite a strong forward approach. But 13 penalties for Nicolas Toro, a little bit to add for time. It goes into 36th place. I think he will not be able to qualify for the second round in 36th, but yes, 13 is the total score. Now it's the turn of Jack Whittaker, another very, very talented young rider for Great Britain. Valmy de la Lande is the horse, just adding a couple of his own movements in between some of these fences with a little buck. Arguably that would waste a little bit of time, but fortunately Jack has got a very forward approach here in any case. But can he knock Harry Charles, his teammate, off the top spot? Harry Charles is in the lead, of course, at the moment with a clear round in 76.38. That he is at the top of the leaderboard. Great shot to that fence. That bold riding really rewarded in various parts of this course. The horse is picking up for Jack so well all around the course. Just one fence left to jump. The time is going to be close. Oh, what a shame! Just one penalty to add, one to add for time. I actually thought that looked quite quick all the way around that course, but just a second over the time allowed, 80.07, so one penalty for Jack Whittaker. We turn now to Kevin Jochems of the Netherlands. Kevin's another rider who is maintaining a good regular rhythm around this course. That will be his approach to ensure that he stays within the time allowed, hopefully keeping the fences up and getting to the top of that leaderboard, or at least towards the top of it. We do now have 12 clears, and remember the top 25% in this class in this first round will qualify for the second round. They're jumping here in the first round in a drawn order, and in the second round they will be jumping in reverse order of merit, so reverse order of faults and time. .78.07 the time for Kevin Jochems, and just one pole down. Now this very fast looking round, all the fences are staying up and this is looking really quite quick. This is Angeli von Essen with Coachella, riding for Sweden, but the time is looking very, very good. And actually I think if the riders pick up the pace in the early parts of the course, it then gives them the opportunity to take a little bit more time in the latter stages. So that goes into 11th place. A lovely clear round in 78.25 for Angeli von Essen and Coachella. That's our latest clear round. 13 clears we now have from this class. Horse really absolutely jumping out of his skin for Angeli. Now we turn to Nicola Philipparts, who rides Geese. Nicola, of course, no stranger to championships, to the very top level of competition. Frequent competitor in World Championships, European Championships, and also on the London Knights GCL team. But let's see what he can do here. We've got 13 clears. Can Nicola Philipparts be the latest rider to join those? Nicola really holding down for this triple combination, unfortunately just rattling these second and third elements. That's a real shame. The rest of the course has been going really, really well. I think the time might be a little bit tight here. 79 seconds is what he's got to get home in. We're already on 75. Yeah, 81.14, so 9 is the total for Nicolas Parts. Man of the moment then, Brian Balsiger is up next. Brian, of course, somebody that really is a name on people's lips at the moment. He was, of course, on the Swiss European gold medal winning team. Now he's riding Dubai Dubois Pinchet here. This is a 12-year-old horse by Kashmir van Schuttershoff. Brian very carefully and also very forward through the line that we've been saying has been so influential. The triple bar to the triple combination, followed by that oxer. Just one fence left to jump. The time looks okay. He's clear so far, one fence left. Yes, he sails over that. 76.28. The time is more than okay. It's an excellent time. And sails into the lead. Just by a tenth of a second, but it is taking the lead. 76.28. That's the new time to beat. Brian Balsiger goes into the lead. We have another Spanish competitor in the ring now. This is Ivan Serrano Saez with Admiral. Of course, it's great to see the stands filling around the arena. No doubt they will be packed out for the Nations Cup final competitions. And don't forget to tune in on FEI TV later this evening. Ooh, that's a real shame. Not the result that Ivan Serrano Saez would have wanted at the triple combination there, but safely through on the second time of asking. Huge jump at the last. This horse really quite straightens his legs coming down over the fences. Quite an unusual style. But yes, do tune in on FEI TV this evening for the next instalment of the Nations Cup competition. The action kicks off around 8:30, but do join Stephen Wild and Jessica Curtin in the studio before then. They'll be taking you through all of the action throughout the evening. .38 then for Ivan Serrano Saez. Picks up 10 penalties, and that will drop him rather out of contention. Mathieu Biot, though, is the next person that will be taking to the stage. He's the next rider that will try to join the ranks of the clears. He'll be trying to join that list of qualifying riders for the second round. This, of course, is a competition with 2 rounds. 2 rounds against the clock. So we have this first full round. Top 25% will then go through into the second round, which is a little bit of a shortened course, but it is there are 10 fencers in that second round, and in the second round they'll be jumping in reverse order of merit as well, just to add to your understanding of this format. Mathieu Biot, though, with Lord de Muse, another horse by Navab de Rev, and For Pleasure is the breeding on the dam side, jumping very, very well. The time actually is looking very good as well. Just rattles that pole, but it stays up. No penalties for rattling the poles, of course, so long as they stay in the cups. Yes, he is our next clear. Oh, what a shame, just slightly over the time allowed. Very, very slightly, so it's 1 to add. For Mathieu Biot, 79.69, time allowed was 79 seconds, so 0.69 of a second over. We now have 3 riders on 1 penalty. But the time will put Mathieu Biot into 15th. We're heading into our final 10 competitors in this first round. We're turning again now to Spain. This is our... we'll have 3 more Spanish competitors coming forward in this competition. This is Enrique Camiruaga, who rides Vintage. This combination were 19th in the Negrita Cup yesterday. Few problems through the triple combination, and that's something that we've seen from a few riders. It's something that's really catching them out. So a little over the time allowed as well. It's a total of 10 for Enrique Camiruaga. Michael G. Duffy is next up then with Rising Sun. Michael G. Duffy, 12th on the FEI jumping under 25 rankings. Few rattles through the triple combination, just one pole falling. And Michael competed this horse in some of the 3-star competitions in Riesenbeck. Placed 11th in the 3-star Grand Prix of Riesenbeck. Just inside the time allowed then, it's 4 to add for Michael G. Duffy and Rising Sun. 25th place for them. We now turn to Owen McMahon again for Ireland with Chakra 9. This is a horse by Casal and the dam sire is Quidam de Reval. This horse, Chakra 9, is owned by Madeline Winterschultz. Madeline, of course, a real stalwart of the sport, real supporter of equestrian sport, both show jumping and dressage. Just a little over the time allowed as well, so it's just 5 to add there. Just touching there on Madeline Winterschultz, of course the owners are so hugely important in this sport and of course in all equestrian sport. Madeline Winterschultz, of course, owner of horses for Ludger Beerbaum and also for Isabel Wirth. Dressage. Now in the ring we have Dennis Lynch. Dennis rides Visa Z. And this is a 9-year-old horse. As we were saying earlier, we do have a few 9-year-olds and a few 8-year-olds here in this class. Very, very talented younger horses jumping in these high-profile competitions. A little over the time allowed, so 5 puts them into 30th place. Holly Smith is now in the ring. She was our winner yesterday. Our winner in the Negrita Cup yesterday. We had a couple of riders who held on to the lead for a while, but none of them faster than Holly Smith. She pipped everybody else to the post to win that Negrita Cup with this very same horse, Fruselli. Now what she needs here is a clear round, and ideally in a good time. Time to beat at the moment is 76.28. That's the time of Brian Balsiger. Not quite the result she would have wanted through the triple combination there. Holly Smith just opting to retire there with Fruselli. Of course, successful day for them yesterday, but today is not to be their day, but I'm sure the horse can be saved for another day. Malin Barriard Johnson then is up next for Sweden. Malin Barriard Johnson rides El Barone 111. This is again a 9-year-old, this time by Emerald. And we're into the final 5 competitors. 68 starters in this first round, and remember the top 25% will go through into the second round. Malin just clipping a pole there. And now that we really are at the business end of things, it's important to remember that we have 14 clears so far. And the top 25% by my calculations is around 17 competitors. So a clear is really what they need. But it's 8 so far on the board for Malin Barriard Johnson. Flies the last vote, and bang on the time allowed, exactly 79 seconds. So it puts her into 38th. Next into the ring is Umid Kamilov of Uzbekistan. Umid is riding Avellino de Cresta. This horse is by Diamant de Semilly. Umid does have a number of wins this year so far, in some one-star competitions in Ivanovsko in Russia, also in some two-star competitions in Moscow. Here though he takes to the stage in Barcelona with Avellino de Cresta. In this Queen's Cup, one of our later competitors to jump, he is trying to post a clear round to go through into the second round of competition here this afternoon. Umid Kamilov just opting to retire there. It all didn't quite go to plan down the triple combination, and the events coming out there. So he retires. Next up then for Spain, another home competitor is Jesus Garmendia Echevarria, riding Callias. Jesus rides Callias here. With this horse he placed 5th in a 2-star 1m45 competition in July in Sarajevo in Spain. And the horse was previously ridden by Hanna Ackerblom of Sweden. Right up until this year, in fact. But they've had some really successful results at 1-star level and 2-star. Now they are tackling this really tricky course in the beautiful setting of Barcelona. The stands are beginning to fill. The atmosphere's just changing a little bit as the light drops in this afternoon session in Barcelona. No doubt the atmosphere will be absolutely electric in the Nations Cup competition this evening. So 4 to add then for Jesus Garmendia Echevarria. As we were saying previously, you can just see here that the venue really is in the thick of things in Barcelona. It's really quite close to the centre. Just taking a look now at the list of qualifiers. So Brian Balsiger, he's at the top of the leaderboard. 76.28 was his time. And they will jump in reverse order of merit in the second round, so he will be last to go. These are more of our clear rounds. Martin Fuchs there, Michael van der Vleuten. And 16 competitors will go forward. We had a few withdrawals, and so the top 25 makes 16. Jack Whitaker is the last competitor to qualify with one penalty, so he'll be first to go in the second round. We'll be taking a short break now, and I will be back to take you through the second round of this Queen's Cup competition. 16 competitors will come forward to the second round over a course with 10 fencers. Another round against the clock. Do join us then in a few moments' time.
pasa? No, no, antes aquí no puedo pasar. Ya está, ya que... Salta para allá. Claro, por eso.
Good afternoon and welcome back to the Queen's Cup. This is one of the competitions at the Nations Cup of Barcelona. We've already had the first round of competition. That was one round against the clock, and 16 competitors have qualified for this second round. It's another round against the clock, and they'll be jumping in reverse order of merit from the first round. And that means that our first starter here is Jack Whitaker. He picked up just one penalty, clear for jumping, just one for time in that first round. But let's see what Jack can do here. It's a slightly shorter course. There are 10 fences, so they start off with fence 15. That is fence 12 in the opposite direction, then 5 from the first round, 6, which is the triple bar, the Negrita fence there, 7, A and B, the first two parts of the triple combination. They then roll down to 8, that big oxer, then swing all the way back around right-handed, turn to 9. Then they turn left-handed, not very far here, to 4A, before turning back up the ring to fence 3, and then a new fence, fence 16 to finish. So 53.56 was Jack Whitaker's time, and the time allowed here is 51 seconds, so he does pick up 2 penalties with Valmy de la Lande. 15 competitors left to go. Just time penalties though for Jack Whitaker. Next up is another competitor bringing forward 1 penalty from the first round. This is Mathieu Biot. .79.69 was his time in the first round. And we can just see here on the screen that 1 penalty next to the clock ticking away. In the first round, this was a very influential line, the triple bar to the triple combination and then to this big oxer on the way out of this line. We've now lost the third part of the triple combination, so it's just 7A and B. Just clipping that final fence. That's the new fence, fence 16. So 1 fence down in a time of 48.73. Adding the score then to the score of the first round, because it's a cumulative score that we're looking at here. Mathieu Biot finishes on 5. Now we'll head into our clear rounds. We had 14 clears in the first round. So 14 competitors coming forward for the second round of competition, and the first of those is Yuri Mansour. His time in the first round was 78.45. That was just inside the time allowed of 79 seconds. So he is our slowest clear round. But of course, things could all change. I think this is also not looking to be an easy course. 10 fences. There, of course, the first fence has been numbered 15, and that is fence 12 from the first round in a different direction. Sadly, Yuri Mansour just clipping part of what was the triple combination. Now it forms a double. So, just the one fence down, that's adding to his score from the first round, so it's a total of 4 now for Yuri Mansour. Puts him into second at the moment, but we do have another 13 competitors to come, and they're all on a 0 score at the moment. Next up then for Spain, one of the home competitors, Alberto Marquez Galabares with Uccello Masuere, 13-year-old horse by Cassini. And remember, this competition is judged over 2 rounds. 2 rounds against the clock. So this second round has 10 fences. Very well through that line that was very influential in the first round, and a very good tight turn back to 9. They've got to keep a keen hand on the time as well. Ooh, he's going very, very quickly around here. Just the one fence left. Oof, big shot there, but flies over it to take the lead. Double clear then for Alberto Marquez Galabares and Uccello Masuere. 44.83, that's the time to beat. They're at the top of the leaderboard, and big cheers go up from the crowd. They are thrilled with that performance from their home competitor. The stands are filling. And it's just fantastic to have spectators here again at these competitions. Really makes such a difference to the competitors and to the horses. Really, really adds to the atmosphere and just really lifts them, especially for home competitors like Alberto there. Next up though is Angeli von Essen. She had a beautiful round with Coachella. In the first round, 78.25 was the time, but she's on a clean sheet too. Now that Alberto has laid down the gauntlet with a second clear round, they've got to jump clear if they're to be in with a shout here. He's really piled the pressure on for the rest of these competitors. Just rubs that pole. And actually, in comparison to the first round, there are quite a few places here where the riders would be able to shave valuable seconds or fractions of seconds off. 4 is the final score for Angeli von Essen. Puts her into third with a time of 43.52. So Angeli was in 12th place after the first round, and remember we have 16 here in this second round of competition, 16 that have qualified from the first round. It was the top 25% going through into the second round. Next up is a very familiar face to the top level. This is Martin Fuchs. He's riding the Sinner, clear in the first round in 78.2 seconds. Now what can Martin do? Having a look around this course, they could take a tighter line from 15 down to 5. That's the first fence to the second fence. Takes that on an angle. And yes, he cuts inside there. Down to fence 5. Ooh, but takes it on an angle and the fence falls. My goodness me, we wouldn't have expected that. Oh, and another fence for Martin Fuchs. What a shame. That means that Alberto Marquez Galabardes is still in the lead. He's the only competitor so far on a double clear. Total of 8 then in that round for Martin Fuchs. Cumulative score, so 8 is his final score. That puts him into 6th at the moment. Ten more to come. 10 more competitors. Michael van der Vleuten will be next up. Michael, of course, led things in the Negrita Cup yesterday for quite some time, until a few riders pipped his time, and he finished in the end in that competition in 7th place. Can he go one better or a few better here? I'm sure would be his plan. Kamara van ter Heijke is the horse. Clear in 78 seconds. We've got 1 double clear already. That's Alberto Marquez Galabardes. If Michael van der Vleuten wants to challenge the lead, he must keep the fences up. .44.83 is Alberto Marquez Galabardes' time, so that's also the time to beat. You can hear the crowd really getting behind Michael. Oh, it's a very good tight turn back to fence 9. Boldly ridden. I mean, he's taking such a tight line. Big jump over the penultimate fence, just the last. Yes, and that is a really fantastic round. 43.38. That has Michael van der Vleuten into the lead. He takes the top spot. 43.38. We thought that the time was possible, so now 2 double clears in this class, in this Queen's Cup. Many of these riders will be competing in the Nations Cup competitions as well. Don't forget that will be kicking off at around 8:30 local time this afternoon, but do tune in a little bit before that, where Stephen Wild and Jessica Curtin will be taking you through things from the studio at the ringside. All live, of course, on FEI TV. Our next starter here, though, is Kendra Clarissa Brinkop of Germany. Again, on a clear round. All of the competitors to come all posted clear rounds in the first round. But we do have 2 double clears now, so they really do need to keep the fences up. Huge jump over the first fence. This horse really gets the back legs so high over the fences. Almost sort of swings them upwards. Super careful jumper. Plenty of room above most of these fences. But let's not try to jinx him. This is Castel Memo. Just 2 fences left to jump. Yes, fantastic shot at the last. Oh, 43.44. That just drops Kendra Clarissa Brinkop into 2nd place behind Michael van der Vleuten. She was very, very close on the time, but 43.38 still is the time to beat. Now this man is no stranger to very fast riding. It's Olivier Robert. Vivaldi des Meneux is the horse. So, setting off now around this second round is Olivier Robert, again on a clear round. Remember, we now have 3 double clears. Time to beat is 43.38. He's setting off at some pace over that first fence. And the second, this man knows how to ride fast. Just clips that, but it does stay up. He is riding this absolutely like a jump off. My goodness me, this has got to be a fast time. 43.38 to beat. Oh yes, he was going to get there. 41.8. I don't think that was ever in doubt that the time could be beaten by that man specifically, by Olivier Robert. But I think that will take some beating. 41.8 takes the lead with a clean sheet. That's the new time to beat, 41.8. 7 competitors left to go, and we turn now to Marlon Modulo Zanatelli. 77.38 was his time in the first round. Beautiful round with Like a Diamond, Van Het Sheikh. And you can just see there the riders taking a look around the course, just checking the lines, seeing where they might be able to cut inside. See where they might be able to shave off valuable fractions of seconds, because of course when we get to this level of competition it really is about fractions of seconds. The time, the differences in the time are so tiny. But he is definitely going to do his utmost to get to the top of the leaderboard. Certainly wouldn't want to bet against him. A big shot over that. It really is edge of your seat kind of stuff watching Marlon Modulo Zanatelli. He's extremely fast around this course. 41.8 the time to beat. He's just got 1 fence left to jump. Oh my goodness, this is going to be tight. Oh yes, he's managed it. 40.67. Fantastic. What a performance. Fantastic to see the supporters there at the edge of the arena. Supporters of all ages here to cheer on their heroes, cheer on their family members and friends. Well, we thought Olivier Robert's time would be very difficult to beat, but Marlon Modulo Zanatelli knew exactly what he needed to do. 40.67 was the time. Just outstanding. Now it's the turn of Penelope Le Prévost for France. Again, another rider really known for her fast riding. This is proving to be some competition. 40.67, that's the time to beat. Very tightly down to this fence. Oh, she's not too far away. Ooh, just clips the last, just getting a little bit strong down to the final fence there. 43.1, that will put her with the one fence down into 7th. Now, had she kept that fence up, she'd have gone into 3rd, so it's so tight here. Just 5 competitors left to go, and we've got some really big names to come. Eduardo Alvarez Aznar is next. Henrik von Eckermann, Niels Brunsels, Harry Charles, and Brian Balsiger. Marla Maduro Zanatelli was so fast. Can anybody catch that time? I think it's going to be a really, really tough ask to catch that time. But the next person who is going to give it his very best shot is Eduardo Alvarez Aznar with Ilero. Just taking the fence down there, so that does mean Marla Maduro Zanatelli will retain the lead. Marla Maduro Zanatelli now no worse than 5th. Ooh, big rattle of that fence, but it does stay up. 4 then for Eduardo Alvarez Aznar in the 2nd round. Puts him into 10th, 45.75 was the time. I think he never really looked to be within reach of Marlon's time. And if the riders are going to beat it, they've really got to get going as fast as they possibly can right from the off. It really will be some ask though. Henrik von Eckermann's next up. Henrik von Eckermann with Hollywood needs to jump clear. 40.67 is the time to beat. He's quickly away from that first fence. Oh, it's a big angle over the 2nd. He is definitely trying. He is definitely going for this. Really rattles it, but it stays. .37 on the clock, just 1 fence left. Whoa, super fast. 41.21. It's not quite enough to catch Marlon, but it will take 2nd. It's good enough for 2nd at the moment. 41.21. We've just got 3 competitors left to go. This is turning into such a race for the finish. It's a race for the finish line, but it's also a race up the leaderboard. And Marlon Modolo Zanatelli has piled on the pressure. 40.67. That's his time. That's the time to beat. Plenty of double clears here. Henrik van Eckermann now in second, Olivier Robert third, Michael van der Vleuten fourth, and Kendra Clarissa Brinkhoff fifth. Niels Brunsels, he's next to go. Fantastic jump-off rider. It's of course a second round rather than a jump-off, but they are riding it extremely fast. Niels knows what he needs to do. He knows he hasn't got a second to waste. Takes the first turn angle. Oh, this is fast. Carefully through the double now that was the triple. All the way down. He's already looking to his turn. Really quickly round that corner. Ooh, takes the stride out. It's going to be close. Not close enough. 42.17 for Niels Brunsels. That puts him into fourth. But my goodness me, it was fast. The horse just pecked on landing after one fence a little bit. Just potentially cost them a little bit of time. Just two riders left to jump then. It's Harry Charles and Brian Balsiger. Harry Charles will be the next to go, but it's no worse than third now for Marlon Modolo Zanatelli. Only two riders have the chance to catch him. So Harry Charles is going to be our next competitor to tackle this course. There's Niels Brunsels. Just exits the arena there with Garcia Dominguez. Teammate Nicola Philippart's there carrying the tack on the way out of the arena as they're just making sure that the horses are all right. But yes, the crowds are gathering ready for those Nations Cup competitions later on today. And of course tomorrow as well. Plenty of spectators enjoying the sunshine and enjoying this absolutely world-class sport action. Just two riders left to jump in this second round of this Queen's Cup competition. Marlon Modolo Zanatelli leads them at the moment, double clear, and his time in the second round, 40.67. Now we see Harry Charles heading back into the arena. just 2 riders have the chance to pip Marlon Modolo Zanatelli to the post to tip him off the top of the leaderboard, but they'll have to go extremely fast. 40.67 was an outstanding performance. It's definitely going to take some beating. For Great Britain then, Harry Charles and Borsato, they are the next to go. Penultimate competitor here in this Queen's Cup competition, the second round of competition. Taking the fences at an angle, good tight turns. Very quickly away there. Ooh, takes a bit of a stride out too. Ooh, 42.35 was the time. It looked fairly fast, but I'm not sure that it ever looked like it was going to challenge Marlon Modolo Zanatelli's time. So 42.35 goes into 5th for Harry Charles. Just the one competitor left to go. And if anyone can beat Marlon's time, it might well be this next man. Taking a look at the arena from above. These beautiful aerial shots really showing how close the arena is to the centre of the city of Barcelona. What an amazing setting. The home of the Longines FEI Jumping Nations Cup Final 2021. In the city of Barcelona. Brian Balsiger then just entering the arena and getting on in the arena. But yes, if anyone can catch Marlon Modolo Zanatelli's time, it may well be this man. He's had a lot of success recently, of course, Brian Balsiger, for Switzerland. This horse is Dubois Pinche. He's our last competitor to go. Can he catch that time? 40.67. He's got to give it everything he's got to catch that time. Tightly round that corner. Then now he's got this double combination. Oh, just takes the fence down. Oh my goodness me, that is not the result we would have expected. Oh, and another fence for Brian Balsiger. Well, that does cement our winner. Brian Balsiger now jumping beautifully around the rest of the course. But sadly, 2 fences have fallen. He's just got the 1 fence left to jump. 8 in a time of 45.13. But of course that means Marlon Modolo Zanatelli is our winner. Yes, nobody could catch that time. It was just outstanding. We thought Olivia Robert looked pretty fantastic, but Marlon Modolo Zanatelli then was just sensational. Henrik von Eckermann then slotting into second place with 41.21, but Marlon Modolo Zanatelli was just unbeatable. So it's a win for the Brazilian rider. 40.67. It's second for Henrik von Eckermann, third for Olivia Robert, fourth for Niels Bruynseels, and fifth for Harry Charles. 68 starters in the first round. 68 riders came forward. 16 went through to the second round, but Marlon Modolo Zanatelli is at the top of the pack. He was the best of the best here today, and he is your winner. That's the winner of the Queen's Cup here in Barcelona. What an amazing competition. Absolutely on the edge of our seats here watching this competition. Marlon Modolo Zanatelli then. He is the winner here. He is the champion of the Queen's Cup competition. It's been an absolute pleasure to watch this competition and to take you through it. But don't forget, the Nations Cup competition continues this afternoon. So do tune in again around 8:15 local time, where Stephen Wild and Jessica Curtin will be taking you through some of the action just before the competition starts, live from the studio. Then the sport action all kicks off at around 8:30 local time. You won't want to miss a thing. Watch it all live on FEI TV and on Clip My Horse.
una segunda manga en la que los jinetes han salido la mayoría por todas y en la que al final la victoria se marcha para Brasil. Bueno, Brasil o Bélgica, porque él reside en Bélgica, pero desde luego es un brasileño. Con Brasil ha conseguido muchísimos éxitos internacionales. Hoy consigue uno más aquí en Barcelona, montando a Lucky Diamond. Van Etchaik, por favor, un fuerte aplauso para Marlon Módolo Zanotelli. Suenan las notas del himno nacional de Brasil. Himno nacional de Brasil en honor de Marlon Módolo Zanotelli. El brasileño ha recibido los trofeos Segura Viudas desde manos dominio director de patrocinios de Segura Viudas. Vamos a proceder a la entrega de ese trofeo al patrocinador de la prueba. Antonio Moreno se dirige al ganador, a Marlon Módolo Zanotelli, brasileño que recibe ese trofeo. Segura Viudas, aunque da agua, antes de estar muy clara la labor de que el jinete lo reciba. Porque eso no va a recibir seguro. Vamos a ver si conseguimos por lo menos hacer la foto para inmortalizar este momento de la victoria del brasileño en esta prueba. Yo me voy a convencer un poquito todavía. Pero bueno, damos por entregados ese trofeo. Marlon Módolo Zanotelli, ahí está, así, pasando para la foto con yo. Bien. Y también, aparte de ese trofeo, se le va a entregar ese Zero Bomb de Segura Viudas. Ahí lo vemos, con el que el brasileño desde luego va a poder pasar una buena jornada tras haber conseguido el éxito en el día de hoy en la prueba. Una prueba que es trofeo Segura Viudas y que además también es Copa de Su Majestad la Reina. Vamos a entregar precisamente esa Copa de Su Majestad la Reina en representación de Emilio Cegrí, vicepresidente de la Real Federación Hípica Española y presidente de la Fundación. El Barcelona va a entregar el trofeo a Marlon Zanotelli. Ahí está, esa Copa de Su Majestad la Reina para Marlon Zanotelli.
El aplauso para el segundo clasificado de esta prueba de Su Majestad la Reina, Suecia, Henrik von Eckermann con Hollywood. Recibe su trofeo de manos del señor Xavier Marcet, regidor de Turismo y Industrias Creativas del Ayuntamiento de Barcelona. Así, vamos a ver, Marcet está acercando junto con el señor Santiago Marcet para hacer la entrega del trofeo y recibir las felicitaciones oportunas. Una vez hecha la entrega, pasaremos al tercer clasificado.
Las felicitaciones para el segundo, para el sueco Henrik von Eckermann, que lo ha intentado y que se ha quedado muy cerquita del primer puesto, no lo ha logrado, ha estado entre los mejores. Y el tercer clasificado, cara y cruz para él en este concurso. Ayer no le fueron bien las cosas, hoy le ha ido mucho mejor. Se ha sacado la espina con este fantástico rival. Bienvenido, el aplauso por favor para Olivier Robert, Francia. Tercero en la prueba, don Santiago Mercé, presidente de este concurso de saltos internacional oficial de Barcelona. felicita al francés y le entrega esa placa como tercer clasificado de esta competición que acaba de concluir en la pista del Real Club de Polo de Barcelona. La cuarta plaza ha sido para el belga Niels Brunsels. Niels Brunsels, como han visto, ha tenido un problema con su yegua García de Mus, que se ha lesionado y por tanto no está en esta entrega de premios. Por lo tanto, vamos ya con el quinto clasificado de la prueba.
Aplauso para el quinto clasificado por Gran Bretaña, Charles Harris con Borsat. Él recibe su trofeo de manos de la presidenta de este jurado de campo, Frances Jones-Trulsi. Recibe las felicitaciones, su trofeo y la foto. Este trofeo al quinto clasificado de esta prueba de Su Majestad la Reina. Podremos proceder a la vuelta de honor.
Vamos ya con la vuelta de honor, con los mejores de esta Copa de Su Majestad la Reina, trofeo Segura Viudas. Disfrutando del momento, estos cuatro extraordinarios jinetes que nos han dado un gran espectáculo en esta Copa de Su Majestad la Reina, con Segura Viudas. Ese aplauso para ellos, no